We've drilled 4 holes into Peta, and we've delineated mineralisation over at least 500 metres. It looks like it's probably longer than that, probably about 1.5 kilometres long. So we're working our way through it. The core's been pretty exciting. It's a lot of oxide copper minerals near surface.
Welcome to viewers tuning into this session of Assay TV. We're sitting down with Culpeo Minerals, the copper gold explorer with assets in Chile. And I'm speaking with Max Tuesley, of course, who's managing director of the company. Welcome, Max.
Thanks, Adam. Thanks for having me on today's program.
It's a pleasure. So last time we spoke, we were looking at Las Petacas Project in particular, and you've got a significant update on the drilling program for us today. Could you tell us about that?
Yeah, look, I think, just for the listeners out there, we, like you said, we're a fairly young, addition to the ASX in Australia. We listed in mid-September. We were drilling a week later, so we're about 3 months into our program. As you mentioned, the flagship project, Las Petacas, which is a pretty exciting project for us. It's located about 20 kilometres south of the large Candelaria mine, Lundin Mining's copper operation here in Chile. The drilling was started in September, and we've recently put some announcements out about some of those results. We're seeing quite a lot of visual copper in the core and also in the surface mapping. So we actually have submitted some of the samples to the laboratory. So we're hoping to get those results back in the next couple of weeks.
That's excellent. Are you able to go into some more detail on the visual mineralization and the sort of strike length around this particular project that you've done in those 3 months of drilling so far?
Yeah, look, Petacas is mineralised over 6 kilometres, so there's quite a lot to look at. We've been focusing on 2 areas. One of the areas is called Diego, and the other area is called Peta 1. Now, at Peta, that's where we're drilling at the moment. We've drilled 4 holes into Peta, and we've delineated mineralisation over at least 500 metres. It looks like it's probably longer than that. It's probably about 1.5 kilometres long. So we're working our way through it. The core's been pretty exciting. It's a lot of oxide copper minerals near surface, which then progresses into the more primary style mineralisation deeper in the hole. So we're seeing malachite and chrysocolla in the top part of the hole, and that's moving into chalcocite, chalcopyrite in the lower sections of the hole. So we intend to keep drilling that project. We've got, like I said, probably another kilometre to drill along strike, and assays coming pretty soon.
Excellent. Yeah, I was going to ask about the assaying. Have you sent samples off to the labs already? Is there where are the labs compared to where you are in Chile? Are they back in Canada?
We've got we're using ALS in Chile. They've got a preparation facility in Copiapó, which is where the project is very close to Copiapó City. So we're lucky in that respect that the sample prep is done locally. The pulp samples are then sent to Santiago for analysis. So there's a little bit of lag time there due to the transportation and obviously, like all labs around the world, there's quite a lot of samples coming through. But we're seeing quite a lot of support from ALS, and we shouldn't be too far off getting those results.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah, that's what I was leading to around sort of rush for assay lab samples globally, but it's great that you've got it all in country. Very good. So you mentioned something about sort of conducting more thorough surveys, and I had in my notes that you were doing an induced polarization survey and a magnetic survey as well. Just for viewers who might be slightly newer to the technologies behind these surveys, could you talk through them and sort of how what the attributes of those surveys are going to be in terms of helping you define the resource?
Yeah, that's a good question. So yeah, I mentioned that we're looking at two prospects within Las Petacas. One's called Diego. The other project where we're drilling now is Peta 1. At Diego, the target there has always been a geophysical target. So we did some gradient array IP surveys early on in the piece, which is an IP technology, but looking at sort of the top 150 meters of the ground, looking at responses that usually sulfide mineralization will give back. At Diego, we have followed that up with some traditional sort of vertical IP sections, which enables us to drill a little bit or to sort of drill down and see a little bit deeper into the Earth's surface. That defines some targets, and we have drilled a couple of holes into those targets. And what we've seen is, we actually have seen quite a lot of mineralization there, but we've also, because we're sort of looking for these Candelaria style mineralization, which is usually associated with magnetite, which is magnetic, hence the name. We have followed up those IP surveys with some ground mag surveys as well. That's just completed now, so that's helped us sort of better target that Diego mineralization, because Diego has always been a geophysical target. There's not a lot of so there is some surface copper outcrop there, but the larger targets are concealed. So that's why we've sort of been focusing the drilling on Peta while we can get that geophysical information back.
Yeah, excellent. Okay, and just to wrap up on Las Petacas then, what are your key milestones as we look into next year?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the number one focus is to get these assay results back, get that information out to the market. Like I said, we have drilled quite a number of holes now. So all of the holes are in the process of being either geological logged, sampled, or sent to the lab. So there'll be quite a number of periods of results coming back in the next couple of months from Las Petacas. Obviously, the geophysical surveys have just been completed, so we're looking at that information. We've got some consultants remodeling the geophysical data, so there'll be some new drill targets defined from that. So early in 2022, we aim to follow up these additional targets. And as I said, we've still got about 1 kilometre of strike length to drill at Peta and a couple of the other projects there within that 6 kilometre strike length. So quite a lot of news flow coming in the next couple of months from Las Petacas.
Yeah, excellent stuff. Okay, and do you have a quick update for us on the Quelon project as well?
Yeah, Quelon's is a little bit closer to Santiago, so it's about halfway back to Santiago. So it's about 300 kilometres south of Las Petacas and probably about the same distance north of Santiago. That's a very exciting project. That's there's mineralisation present there over about a 10 kilometre strike length. Lots of old sort of artisanal mining has taken place in the area. Very, very rich copper grades coming out of some of that old mining. But interestingly enough, it's never been drilled. So that was why we were sort of very, very excited to get our hands on that project. So what we've been doing, once we've finished the geophysical survey at Las Petacas, that geophysical crew has now relocated to Quelon. So it's about 50% way through quite a comprehensive IP survey at Quelon also. So that, we're a firm believer in, before we do drilling, that we use some of the other geological tools such as geophysics and geochemistry. So the plan is to complete that Quelon IP survey before the end of December, and then we'll be modelling that data. So that gives us the option as well early in 2022 to send a drill rig to Quelon as well, and that's always been the plan. I think pretty much sticking to what we said we were going to do during the IPO process.
Yeah, absolutely. Lots going on, and it's great to have the optionality of the other asset in play as well. Well, Max, thanks very much for serving an update on the projects there and the drilling campaign so far. We really look forward to catching up with you in early 2022 to hear about some of the assay results and the news flow coming out of the projects then.
Absolutely, Adam. Yeah, no, we look forward to getting that news out to people, and thanks very much for speaking with me today.
Yep. Cheers.